البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة صدق الله العلي العظيم.
बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सलवात मसाहब के चंद बंद छोटी शहजादी सलाम अलैहा के हवाले से कदम कदम पे कदम कदम पे रुलाया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को वो पुश्त नाक़ा पे तन्हा वो तेज़ रफ़्तारी संभलती कैसे सफ़र में हुसैन की बच्ची है गिरी नहीं है गिरी नहीं है गिराया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को वो अपना हाल यतीमी सुनाने आई थी है पिदर की लाश से पत्थर हटाने आई थी है लगा के दुर्रे लगा के दुर्रे हटाया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। तमाशागीर ने इनाम कैसा है मांगा, तड़प के रह गई दरबार शाम में फिजा, कनीज कह के है कनीज कह के बुलाया गया सकीना को। समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। सितमगरों की रविश बन गई थी मक़तल से, कहीं भी बिछड़ी सफर में तो पास आबिद के है पकड़ के बालों से लाया गया सकीना को। समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। तलब किया किसी जालिम ने जब कनीज़ी में है छुपा लिया उसे ज़ैनब ने अपनी गोदी में। न पूछो कैसे बचाया गया सकीना को। समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। सरे हुसैन को तकते थे आबिदे मुज़तर, तड़पने लगती थी गाजी की लाश दरिया पर। तमाचा जब भी लगाया गया सकीना को। समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। रबाब बैन ये तुरबत पे आके करती थी, गरीब हो गई कितनी हुसैन की बेटी है। गली गली में फिराया गया सकीना को। समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को। हिजाब गैब का मालिक वो दर्द रखता है, उठाए माश्क तकल्लुम तलाश करता है कहाँ पे पानी कहाँ पे पानी पिलाया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को समझ के ज़हरा सताया गया सकीना को पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Can we please start Surah Al-Fatiha for the names displayed on the screens and for all marhumin, please. Surah Al-Mubarakat al-Fatiha. Dua Shafa'a is requested for all Marid, please. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Membership is now due for renewal. Please renew at either desk. The deadline for signing up children for MAMT is this Saturday. Please note that for children it's free as Hyderi Sports are covering the costs. There will be a gents Majlis Azhar at Brother Stibtain Raz's residence on Saturday, the 16th of September at 5 p.m., ending with Maghrib Namaz and Niyaz. For further details, please see the screen or the notice boards. Nazm Mubarak Panjwani's Chalas Majlis will be held here at Hyderi on Sunday, the 17th of September, starting with Dhuhrain Namaz. Niyaz will also be served. There will be a gents Majlis Azhar at Brother Razawaji's residence on Friday, the 22nd of September, starting at 7:15 p.m. with Namaz al-Maghribain. Niyaz will also be served. All mu'mineen are requested to attend, inshallah. Hyderi have collaborated with the world-renowned Al-Mizan Institute to offer an intensive course on the secrets of Salah taught by Sheikh Mehdi Rastani. For further details and to register, please see the Hyderi website. If you'd like to contribute to tonight's majlis in honor of Imam al-Ridha salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Please do visit either desk. Also, please kindly donate generously for the Bluebell Cemetery. Brothers, before we begin, can I please ask you to stand up and come as close to the front as possible? At the same time, can we please welcome Sheikh Nuru with the last salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
محمد وآل محمد. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يكن له. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. الحمد لله رب العالمين، إنه خير ناصر ومعين. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، مولانا ومولى الموحدين، حبيب إله العالمين، أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. طب القلوب ودوائها ونور أبصارها، وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. ما صل على محمد وآل محمد. يقول إمامنا علي بن موسى الرضا صلوات الله وسلامه عليه: اللهم صل على محمد. لا يستكمل عبد حقيقة الإيمان حتى تكون فيه خصال ثلاث: التفقه في الدين، والتقدير في المعيشة، والصبر على الرزايا. For the love of our beloved Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. For the purification of our hearts and hastening of the reappearance of our beloved, the 12th Imam, with the loudest of our voices, sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Once again, mu'mineen and mu'minat, we thank Almighty Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala for presenting us with this wonderful moment out of His immense love for us, to commemorate the painful martyrdom of Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam. I take this opportunity, mu'mineen and mu'minat, once again to express my heartfelt condolences to the Imam of our time and to our great scholars and to each and every one of you, mu'mineen and mu'minat, lovers and followers of Ahl al-Bayt, on this painful occasion of the departure of Bab al-Hawa'ij, Imam al-Ridha. You know, the tradition of our beloved Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, you know, beautifully highlights on one of the virtues of Imam al-Ridha, where Imam Ja'far mentioned, "Satudfanu bad'atun minni bi Khurasan, ma zarahu makrubun illa wa farrajallahu karba." He said, part of me will be buried in Khurasan, meaning in Mashhad. No one in grief visit him or intending to visit him, except that Allah will relieve that person of his pains of life. Before we discuss the topic I prepare to present tonight, two mu'mineen asked me a question on last night's discussion. And that's what we really encourage. When we present something and you feel it's not making sense or you need some clarification, feel free to reach out to mu'mineen and mu'minat. We all here to learn. We all students of the maktab of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq. Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The moment one claims to know, that's the beginning of his or her failure. So the question is, it's a very straightforward question. Last night you discussed hikmah, wisdom. And you looked at how wisdom manifested in the personality of our beloved prophets. But you mentioned something in the beginning when you were looking at the dimensions of wisdom within the religion of Islam. First dimension, you said there are two elements. You mentioned only one element, which is true. What is the second element? So I thought it's important to mention it. So you recall very well, mu'minin and mu'minat, not to take time on this. We looked at wisdom from different schools of thoughts. And the first definition of wisdom we looked at is from the teachings of Ahlul Bayt. And we gave a definition of wisdom from the perspective of our beloved Imam Ja'far. But then I mentioned, from the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, wisdom is of two dimensions. We said one dimension is al-alaqatu ma'Allah, building relationship with Allah. You remember? And then we said the second dimension is alaqa ma'al mujtama'a or alaqa ma'al insan, building relationship with people or with community. And then we stopped there and said, building relationship with Allah is of two elements. The first element, we said, is al-khawf min Allah. Khawf ilahi. Fear of Allah, some may put it. Or having Allah's consciousness. And we gave a tradition of Amir al-Mu'minin in this regard. So the second element, mu'minin and mu'minat, is not for one to become slave to his or her desire. Becoming slave to one's desire, whatever the desire might be, will make it difficult for one to build the relationship with Almighty Allah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And Surah Ali Imran, Quran 3, verse number 14, discusses desire. When it says, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, and Allah mentioned different forms of desire. So the second element, when it comes to building relationship with Allah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, is for us to be able to deal with desire. You remember that tradition of Amir al-Mu'minin? You know the tradition very well. But it's important we remind one another of this tradition because it has to do with how we deal with desires. Desire is crucial, but how we channel it is what is important. Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam tells us, when Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala created animals, Ajallakumullah, He grant or provide animals with desire and imagination, some add, without intellect. But when Allah created angels, Allah grant angels with mind, without desire and imagination. But when Allah created insan, He provide insan with intellect, desire, and imagination. And the narration tells us, any one of us who manages his desire and imagination and ensures that these two are managed by the intellect, that person become better than an angel in the eye of Allah. And then Amir said, but anyone, may Allah forbid, who allows his or her desire and imagination to overpower the anger can be desire sometimes, although anger primarily is good. But desire can lead you to exploding and channeling your anger in the wrong way. So Amir is saying, if you allow your desire or your imagination to manage your intellect, then you become worse than an animal. And so the second one is about desire. Now, mu'minin and mu'minat, as we did last night, in between I will stop and ask some few questions. You know about Imam al-Ridha, just to get us moving and appreciating the personality of this great Imam. I quoted a tradition earlier on. This tradition is from Tuhaf al-Uqul, volume 466, or page 466. It's a tradition from Imam al-Ridha. And tonight's discussion is based on this tradition. Look at the tradition. Imam al-Ridha said, La yastakmilu abdun haqiqat al-iman. Kindly pay attention to the tradition. That a servant of Allah will not reach the reality of iman until three things are found in that servant. Number one, Imam al-Ridha said, at-tafakkuh fi din, religious awareness. We'll stop there and discuss into some more details, inshallah. Number two, Imam al-Ridha said, he said, good management of life. That's number two. And then number three, he said, patience over calamities and uncomfortable situations. So these are the three elements. When they are found in a person, Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam regard that person having full iman. Now, departing from this tradition, the topic of tonight, mu'mineen and mu'minat, on this night of Imam al-Ridha, is to look at the elements of faithful personality. Our examination is of three stages that are known. First stage, we'll look at religious awareness. At-tafakkuh fi din. What does it mean? Second stage of the examination, we will look at husnu takdir fil ma'isha, good management of life, which Imam al-Ridha regard as one of the elements for having complete iman. And then the last stage of the examination will focus on as-sabru al-razaya, as mentioned by Imam al-Ridha. Simply means what? Emotional intelligence. It's a third element, that anyone who has emotional intelligence, he has an element of complete iman. Now, to begin the discourse of tonight, let me ask this question, mu'minin and mu'minat. You know, you answer, you don't know, there's no problem. We are all students, really. We are here tonight to remember Ali ibn Musa. And it is important when these opportunities are presented to us. What opportunities am I talking about? Wilada, Wafat, Shahadah. To use these opportunities to remind ourselves not only of the biographies of Ahlul Bayt, but the lessons we learn from their lives. Simple question, mu'minin and mu'minat, before we go into the details. How many years was Imam al-Ridha, meaning spent in this world? How many years? 55. Excellent. We have another version that says 52. We have even a version that says 51. 55. Excellent. As simple as that. How many years was the reign or the period of the imamate of Imam al-Ridha? Not the same person, somebody else. How many years was he an imam? He led while in Medina, and from Medina he was moved to Khurasan in Mashhad. How many years was he an imam? Azizan, quickly. How many years? 35, 40. You saying 35, 40. So Imam al-Ridha died at the age of 55 or 52, 53. If it is 45, then maybe it's the youngest. But we know the youngest is Imam al-Jawad. And the second youngest is Imam Hasan al-Askari. So how many years was he an imam? Come on, Azizan. How many years? So 10 years he led as an imam. Not really. But you've done well. Who said 20? 20 here. Any other? Ahsantum, 21. Some said 20. 21. So Imam al-Ridha, this is a very simple, really biography. I don't expect you to know it off heart. But as I said, when these opportunities present to us, we read about it a little bit. Ever Khoshali comes, ever Wafat comes, read something about that imam. You can skim a book. Just to remind, because we are human based. That's why we are called insan. Insan, some said, is from nisyan. Nisyan meaning forgetfulness. We forget. So if we don't remind ourselves now, and then we forget. Your work, you go every day, but sometimes you blunder at work. That's insan. There is nothing, la adri nisful ilm. I do not know is half of the knowledge. And that's exactly what we're going to discuss tonight. Now, Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam moved to Mashhad. How many years was he in Mashhad? Huh? Who's saying 4? Okay, Mullah is saying 4. Very close. 3. Ahsantum. 3 years. Excellent. You're all doing well. So 3 years he was in Mashhad. Because obviously he was forced by Al-Abbasid to go to Mashhad. But Alhamdulillah, Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam played crucial role in Mashhad. Now the last question because of time. Imam al-Ridha, as you know very well, had to face some Abbasid Khulafa. But there is this one particular one who then ended the life of Imam al-Ridha. Who was he? Ahsantum. Ma'mun al-Abbas. And of course, he offered Imam al-Ridha a position of crown prince. Why did Imam al-Ridha accept that?
He said that he would, once he passes away, he would take the leadership.
So are you saying because he said when he passed away, he will take the leadership? Okay. But there is a reason as to why he took it. Obviously, Imam al-Ridha never believed in Ma'mun. Never accepted the modus operandi of Ma'mun. But he accepted it. Why? Forced to do it. Okay. Who to get legitimacy? Obviously, Ma'mun wanted to get legitimacy. I agree. But why did Imam al-Ridha accept it? To save Islam. Excellent. Very close. Because, you know, that time the palace of Ma'mun was a place where people from different schools of thought used to assemble and discuss things. Different ideologies were discussed there. Look at the life of Imam al-Ridha. And so Imam al-Ridha accepted that for him to be there to correct mistakes, to correct ideologies. And so it's important, mu'mineen and mu'minat, to read the lives of Ahlul Bayt. In fact, when you examine the life of Imam al-Ridha, alayhi salam, you realize that the 3 years he spent in Mashhad is the crucial ones. It's like the 4 years, 7 months of Amir al-Mu'mineen in Kufa. Crucial. Those 3 years, if you truly want to appreciate the political mind of Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam, read the 3 years he spent in Mashhad. Now, as I said, the topic of tonight is not biography of Imam. It's really lesson from the life of Imam al-Ridha. And please pay attention because I will keep asking questions like that. First stage of the examination, Imam al-Ridha teaches us for complete Iman, 3 things are needed. First one, he said, at-tafakkuh fi din, religious awareness. So now, what is religious awareness? Kindly let us understand this. Understanding this will make us appreciate our responsibilities as Muslims, number 1, and number 2, as lovers and followers of Ahlul Bayt towards the mission of Allah on earth. You know, mu'mineen and mu'minat, religion is not just by inheritance. Yes, most of us sitting here, we were born Muslims, isn't it? We were born Shias. Excellent. Many Muslims are like that. That is inherited. But it doesn't stop there. The fact that one inherits doesn't mean he doesn't do anything else. You stick to that and that's the end story. No. Again, religion, mu'mineen and mu'min, it's not just the rituals we undertake. These are all part and parcel of religion. But religion, mu'mineen and mu'minat, is a world view. Religion is a set of values, set of responsibilities that one uphold and inculcate in his or her life. And hence Imam al-Ridha, in this beautiful tradition, I love this tradition, he invites each and every one of us to do what? To do what is called at-tafakkuh fi din. What is tafakkuh fi din? If you go to Arabic encyclopedias, like for example, Lisanul Arab. Lisanul Arab explains what is the meaning of at-tafakkuh. This tafakkuh is from the word fiqh. What is fiqh? It simply means faham, understanding. Yani Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam invite us to strive and try as much as we can to seek the understanding of our faith. Imam al-Ridha forbid his lovers and followers to follow blindly and to say, I'm a born Muslim, I'm a born Shia, and that's it. I'm going to be doing the rituals, and that's it. This tradition is an invitation not to fold our arms, but to try as much as we can to take our understanding of religion to the next level. You know, if you look at Raghib al-Isfahani in his Al-Fadh al-Quran, he discusses letters and words of Quran beautifully. He also examined the meaning of at-tafaqquh fi din. Imam al-Ridha, he said faqaha, tafaqquh. According to Raghib in his Al-Fadh al-Quran, he said, for me, the meaning of at-tafaqquh is just that one strive to discover the unknown through the known. Delving deeper into our religion. Immerse yourself in trying to understand this religion. That is the invitation of Imam al-Ridha. At this point, I'm going to invite one and all. There are some few verses I'm going to share with you. Those verses will appear on the screen. My interest of showing these verses is the word faqaha. Allah uses this word a lot in the Holy Quran. The first one is Surah An-Nisa, verse 78. It will come on the screen. It's a long verse, but just the line I'm interested in. فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ حَدِيثًا. What is the matter with the people? That they do not understand. Yani Allah sent prophets, messengers to people. But people, on account of laziness, they didn't want to do much. They wanted to be spoon-feeded. They wanted to be given everything on a silver platter. What's the matter of these people? Can't they understand? Can't they work hard? This one ayah. So I'm going to get glossaries of the verse and then I will explain. Second ayah, beautiful ayah, Quran 17 verse 44. Look at the ayah. Also, we got a little bit of it. It's not the full ayah. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحًا. Allahu Akbar. He said, for everything we created glorifies and praises God. But you do not understand the way they do so. But my interest is la tafqahun. You don't have to understand it. Obviously, Al-Bayt taught us how each and every creature of Allah praise Allah. Typical example before we move forward. See, narration tells us, Allahu Akbar. When Allah Tabaraka wa ta'ala created trees. You know tree? It's a tree. So Allah created trees in a form of qiyam. And these trees, what are they doing? They are worshipping, glorifying Allah. Wa in min shay'in. This nakira, if you know Arabic, min shay'in. It's a nakira. It's general. It's not wa in min shay'i. There is no alif lam. It's a nakira. Meaning of everything we created. So he said trees are in a form of qiyam. Glorifying, worshiping Allah. And then you know what the hadith says? Allahu Akbar. It's like animals, ajallakumullah. We're talking of the livestock, like sheep, like goat, like cow. They are created in the form of ruku'ah. And that's how they glorify and praise Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. And that narration tells us, if you look at insects like mosquitoes and them, they are created in the form of jolos.
And that's how they praise Allah. But if you look at mountains and trees, they are creating a form of sujood. That's how they praise and glorify Allah. But look at insan. You want to do qiyam, you do qiyam. You want to do ruku, you do ruku. You want to do sujood, you do sujood. Hence Allah says, وَلَكَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. Indeed, we honor and cherish the children of Adam. But you've got the capability to be the Khalifa of Allah on earth. What else do you want? You are Khalifa of Allah on earth. You are His deputy on earth. Your women, they represent Allah's attribute of beauty. Your men represent Allah's attribute of glory. You need beauty and glory to build civilizations. Allah is proud of insan. Hence, after He created insan, He said, Tabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqeen. So number 2 is this verse. That we do not have the faqaha, the understanding of it. Now let's go to the 3rd verse of this faqaha that Quran is mentioning. This chapter Araf, verse 179. The verse is there also. It's a long verse where Allah says, وَلَقَدْ زَرَعْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ. We're going to prepare Jahannam with people and jinn. وَإِلَوْمُ قَلُوبٌ. Look at the ayah. لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They have a heart, but they cannot understand with it. Some people you talk to them is from here and is out here. Some say, mashallah, the majlis is amazing. So what have you learned from the majlis? Share one thing you've learned from the majlis. So Allah said, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They've got the heart, but they cannot comprehend. Here, mu'minin and mu'minat, as we mentioned, faqaha is not just ilm. It's ilm with understanding and tadabbur. It's knowledge with understanding and reflecting. That is what Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam is inviting us to do. When you come to a majlis, be it my or any other person's majlis, don't listen for listening's sake. Listen, reflect, digest, see what makes sense, see what does not make sense. And Quran describe people who go to majlis and take the best out of what they hear. الَّذِينَ يَسْتَمِعُونَ الْقَوْلَ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ أَحْسَنَ. They listen to what has been said, but they will only follow the best out of what has been said. So, faqah is what Ahlul Bayt want us to have. Now, let's look at some few traditions of Ahlul Bayt on how they encourage us to strive in whatever way possible to seek the understanding of our faith. You on your own when it comes to the understanding. This member will provide you guidelines. Community will provide you guidelines. It is then upon you to ensure that whatever you take, you listen, you make something out of it. Our beloved, the first Imam, you look at Najul Balaga, Khutbah 110. Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam tells us. Number 1, he said, تَعَلَّمُوا الْقُرْآنَ فَإِنَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْحَدِيثِ. Then he said, وَتَفَقَّهُ فِيهِ. That's my interest. فَإِنَّهُ رَبِيعُ الْقُلُوبِ. He said, oh my lovers, oh my followers, oh my Shia, study Quran. Amirul Mu'mineen. Study Quran. Don't relax. Why? Because Quran is the best of conversations. But then second line, tafakkahu fi. Don't just study Quran. Seek the understanding of the Holy Quran. Imam Ali is not on a face value. Seek the understanding of it. Why? Because Quran is Rabi'ul Qulub. It is the spring of the heart. So Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu salam want solid, highly educated followers. And that is why, look at this story. Beautiful story. A companion of our beloved Prophet approached the Holy Prophet. And he said to me, Ya Rasulullah, teach me something from the Holy Quran. Kindly pay attention to this story. So then Prophet taught him, chapter Zilzal, verse 11. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى. That's it. Whoever does good, even if it's like an atom, he will see it. So he stayed with Prophet for some time, and then he left. Guess what Prophet said when he left? In Sarafa wa huwa faqihun. He left as a person of understanding. It's about understanding. It's not about me sitting here for 1 hour talking. It's not about you just attending the majalis. Wallahi, it's about understanding. There is one tradition that the companions of the Holy Prophet, when they would go to Prophet for Quranic teachings, whatever verse he would teach them, they will not go back to him until they understood those verses. It's about understanding. It's about quality and not quantity. And hence, Rasulullah said, in Sarafa wa huwa faqihun. This man, he appreciated فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى. That's it. Now fast forward. Religious awareness is what I'm explaining. You know Islam. Islam invites us now and then to seek knowledge. And here, I'm focusing more on Islamic knowledge. Because if you don't seek no knowledge, Islam becomes boring. You don't enjoy it. You don't appreciate it. But when you seek knowledge yourself, that's why there is no gender limit when it comes to seeking Islamic knowledge. There is no teacher limit. Anyone can be your teacher so long as the person is sincere and understands the religion. There is no space limit, and there is no time limit. Go full force and seek the understanding. When you hear something not making sense, interrogate, ask, seek clarification. It is your duty, it is your responsibility not to allow it to pass without seeking clarification. Otherwise, it becomes a hujjah against you. Now, Allahu Akbar. Islam again is telling us, and the general, it's not about the knowledge. We mentioned it's about the understanding and implementing the knowledge. Allahu Akbar. You know Imam Ali? Beautifully. But before we go to Imam Ali, I want to show you, kindly pay attention to 2 verses of the Holy Quran. Again, it will come on the screen. And maybe from this verse, I will ask a question, if 1 or 2 of you can tell me. Beautiful. Chapter Nisa, verse 82. Look at the verse. It will come just now. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in this verse is inviting us and telling us, can't they reflect and ponder on the verses of the Holy Quran? Reflect, ponder. That's what Allah wants us to do. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. This is the verse. وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. What do you understand by this verse? Quickly. It's majlis, I know. First part of the verse. Quickly, Bayo Azizo. Suche delaying quickly. Yes. Don't just take it on a face value. No. Think pensively. And you will appreciate this Quran. And then the last ayah on this is chapter Al-Haqqa. Give us chapter Al-Haqqa. Look at the ayah. لِنَجْعَلَهَا لَكُمْ تَذْكِرَةً وَتَعِيَهَا أُذُنٌ وَاعِيَةٌ. Yes, we want to make it a reminder. But not everyone is able to keep it there. We need some udhunun wa'iya. Not every hearing is good. Allah is talking of those ears that can contain His knowledge. Contain it. Ta'iyaha udhunun wa'iya. Imam Ali in Hikmah 98 of Najul Balaga tells us. He said, "Ikalul khayra idha sami'tumu." He said, reflect on good when you get to hear about good. But you know how Imam Ali said we should reflect on it? He said, "Akla ri'aya la akla riwaya." He said, you reflect with the akl that contains, not with the akl that just talk and spread. Yeah, you know, at the end, you know what Imam Ali said? Allahu Akbar. He said, because inna ruwat al-ilmi kathir wa ri'ayat al-ilmi qalil. Because those who spread knowledge are more in number, but those who contain knowledge are few in number. Imam Ali alayhi salam wants to contain knowledge. Containing knowledge doesn't mean I've got the knowledge, I'm knowledge. No. He wants to see that knowledge in you. And that is why narration tells us, Al-thawabu ala qadri al-aql. Rewards are based on the applications of our intellect. To what extent do we use our intellect to analyze things we receive? Ahlul Bayt want us to have sharp and active intellect when it comes to knowledge acquisition. And that is why in Uyun Akhbar al-Ridha, there's a tradition from Imam al-Baqir beautifully, where Imam said, Manazilu Shi'a ala kadri ma'rifatihim wa riwayatihim. He said the levels of our Shia is based on their levels of implementing knowledge. To what extent do we implement? So Imam al-Ridha on the first level is telling us, Kamilu Iman or Hakikatul Iman, number one must have tafaqquh fi din. Must have religious awareness. You need to understand your religion properly. You need to invest time and resources in understanding and appreciating your religion. That is what I and you can do to make Ahlul Bayt proud of us. Second stage, quickly because of time. Imam al-Ridha said, Husnul Takdiri fil Ma'isha. Best management of life. Imam al-Ridha. Mu'min, complete Iman, then you must have best management of your life. Here Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam is trying to highlight of an-najahu fil hayat, success in life. You must achieve success in dunya and success in akhirah. Not only success of akhirah. And there are so many traditions from Ahlul Bayt inviting us that when we do whatever we do in this dunya, we should do it with perfection. We shouldn't do things half-baked, half-cooked. Do it with perfection, because narration tells us, my true Shias are those, wherever they are the highlight of that place. Perfection. Look at this tradition from the Holy Prophet. He said, Man qasala an amri dunya, fahuwa an amri akhiratihi aksal. He said, whoever is lazy when it comes to his worldly affairs, the person will be even more lazy when it comes to Qiyamah affairs. Ahlul Bayt don't want us to be lazy. It is dunya and akhirah. And that is why Rasulullah tells us again, Allah loves to see his servant struggling in seeking halal. So Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam is saying, this is one of the factors of your iman. When you strive to perfect your dunya, you strive to become successful in your dunya. And here I will give you some practical tips. And this even psychologists mentioned this. But we have it within Quran and traditions. What are the elements of success in life? Kindly take note of these practical tips. First element, it came last night also. Tahdidul hadaf. Identifying your aim and objective in life. What's your aim? Community, what's our aim? Success in the hereafter. But what's the aim in dunya? You as an individual youth, what's your aim? Quran, to do anything for the pleasure of Allah is true. Whatever I do in this dunya, I need to connect with Allah. Quran says, Balil insanu ala nafsiki basira. Can't the insan see himself and reflect? The ayah is trying to highlight on the need to be organized, on the need to know what you want in life. That's number one. Number two, element of success within the religion of Islam. Intajiyah, productivity. How many people are active but less productive? I'm busy, Sheikh. I agree. I'm not Matata. I know you are busy. Yeah, I know. You're busy, but where is the productivity? Conche. Productivity is crucial. This Ahlul Bayt are teaching are not from me. Quran, Ahlul Bayt. Tradition of Imam al-Kazim tells us, Man tasawa yawmahu fahuwa magbun. Whoever's 2 days are equal, that person is a loser. Meaning your today should be much better than your yesterday. Last year Ramadan, next year Ramadan should be better than last year. At work, religion, school, everything. So second element of najah, good planning of life, is intajiyah, productivity. I must strive to be productive in whatever I do, regardless of how less it is. Doing too much and ticking the boxes doesn't yield any result sometimes. What yields the result is to do things with quality and aim to achieve results. Intajiyah, that's number two. Number three element of success with the religion is what? Sakina, peace of mind. But here, what do I mean by peace of mind? Tradition of Amir al-Mu'minin. I know where I was. I know where I am. I know where I'm going. Sakina. Anyone who knows where he was, where he is, where he's going, will have peace of mind. Amir al-Mu'minin said, Rahimallahu abdan arifa min ayna wa fi ayna wa ila ayna. Allah's blessings be on a servant who knows where he was, where he is, where he's heading to. Where are you going? What's the plan? Where are you going? Obviously, we were in a state of non-existence, I agree. And Allah gave us this existence, true. And currently we are in a state of existence, but we are possible beings, not necessary beings. So we need necessary being to help us. Likewise, Qiyamah will be in another state where we will need the necessary being to help us also. So you need that sakina. And then the last element of success from the religion of Islam is what? Displaying the best of all akhlaq. All akhlaq. Somebody may ask me, Sheikh, these are elements of success. Is there any teaching in Islam from the Ahlul Bayt when it comes to what is it that I need to do to achieve success? Number one, determine your priorities in life, awlawiyat. You've got so many things on the table. What are your priorities? You've got 10 things. Can you achieve all the 10 things at the same time? No. What are your priorities in life? It's of great importance for I and you to determine our priorities in life. That's number one. You want to achieve success, you need to know what are your priorities. Number two, athika to be nafs, narration tells us. Believe in yourself. Believing in oneself doesn't mean becoming arrogant. No one advises you. No one tells you what to do. No. Believing in yourself meaning what? You believe in the qudra of Allah. That Allah who created me as insan, He will never leave me alone. As young, as youth, believe you can do it. Believe you've got the potential, but be humble about it. Want to achieve najah? Imam al-Ridha is telling us, Husnu takdiri fil ma'isha. Plan well in life. There shouldn't be anarchy in your life. Be organized in your life. Whatever you do it in order. It's of great importance. So I need to believe in myself. And then Islam tells us another tool to build on to achieve success is what? Ittikhazul qarar. Take decision. Take decision, not too much was worse. There are people Allah who are wanting, they will do 10 istikhara. Where is the akal? I do istikhara, but istikhara not like advertise. If you are 100% confused, yes, why not? But take decision, ittikhadul qarar is crucial. It helps. So that is the teaching of Imam al-Ridha. And last element of a faithful personality from the tradition of Imam al-Ridha. As-sabru ala-razaya. Patience on account of calamities, discomfort, adversaries. Sabr. What is sabr, Habibi? Who can tell me what's sabr? Sabr konche. What is sabr? Oh, patience. So patience means translation of sabr. What is sabr? What is patience? Because Imam al-Ridha is saying be patient. You may go through a lot in your life. All of us, we're going through a lot in our lives. Family member been diagnosed of a cancer, for example. Today is like a national anthem, cancer. That family member this. Cost of living problem. Sons, daughters not getting married. No, they are married, they're not getting children. Struggling with their spirituality. Everybody is just looking at me with a funny look. I don't know what's going on. No, I'm not talking to you like life. I'm talking of life in general. In it, as they say, in it. Challenges, we have so many challenges in life. So Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam is saying, during these challenges, you need sabr. So what is sabr? Perseverance. What is perseverance? Trusting in Allah is saying, God, putting effort to change things, mashallah. Again, what is sabr? Oh, you don't complain, but insan is not easy, bro. Yeah, but sometimes it's tough, Habibi. I agree with you, but it's not easy sometimes inside. Allah, why me? Allah, please, Allah, why me? It's not easy. Someone said, Amal there. Which Amal? Oh, perseverance, tawakkul. No, nobody mentioned tawakkul. Not letting something affect you, but sometimes it's beyond my control. The mind is working. We have psychologists here. Sometimes the mind, the way it works, is not easy. You do not want it to affect you. But insan's mind is sometimes, you can't help it. But Islam is telling us, sabr, saburi. Sabr karo. That's way too mystical, isn't it? It's like that. That's way too mystical. We have ascending arrow and descending arrow. So inna lillah, we've all descended from Allah. Wa inna ilayhi raji'un, we are all ascending to Allah. So in spirituality, mysticism, they said we have ascension and descension. So all of us in this world, we are now ascending. But we are of different levels of spirituality. Some people, they will be there before Adhan. Some people, they will be there when Adhan is being called. Some people know they will be there before the first takbir. Some people, they will be there after the first raka'ah. Some people will be there after the second raka'ah. Some know they will not even be there until the salat is over. So we are all ascending to Allah, but of different level. That is inna lillah. Sabr, to cut a long story short, is what some of you mentioned. From the Islamic perspective, sabr means what? Move on. Don't fold your arms. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep finding solution. Keep finding. Either through someone, either through situation, either through... But keep going. Don't fold your arm and do nothing. And hence when Islam discusses the concept of tawakkul, Islam says if there is a remedy for any challenge or discomfort situation, is tawakkul. But Islam provides us with conditions of tawakkul. Without those conditions, it becomes tawakkul. First condition is what? Seek help. Don't suffer alone. Seek help. As-sabr doesn't mean I do nothing. Tawakkal to Allah. No. Yes, Abu Abdullah alayhi salam taught us. Ridha Allah, ridana ahl al-bayt. Nasbiru ala balaihi wa yufina ujur as-sabirin. He said Allah's pleasure is our pleasure with ahl al-bayt. We are going to be patient until Allah reward us with the reward of the patient ones. But patient means what? Move on. Abu Abdullah moved. He did not stop in Medina. He said this in Mecca between Safa and Marwa. But he kept going. That's manifestation of sabr. So first element, requirement, do something. Seek help. Second requirement of sabr, mu'mineen and mu'minat from Quran, dua. Make dua. Sit somewhere, ask Allah in your own language. Don't worry, do it. Allah listens. Talk to Allah. Complain to Allah if you need be. Imam Al-Abin taught us in Munajati Shakin on how to complain to Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Third element is Sile Rahim. Sometimes problem I go through is because I'm cutting family relationships. Because narration tells us, severing family relationship will lower your rizq in life. Number 2, it will reduce your lifespan. Number 4, it will give you unhappiness in life. Sile Rahim. And then the last requirement Quran tells us is what? Quran. There after that he said, Tawakkaltu ala Allah. So Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam is saying, be patient, my lover, my follower. And his narration tells us, Iza sabarta, when you become patient, whatever is going to happen will happen. But upon your patience, Allah will reward you. But he said, Iza jaza'ata, when you fail to be patient, whatever is going to happen will still happen, and you will be deprived of Allah's reward. So in conclusion, mu'minin and mu'minat, we have amazing imams to lead and guide us. Dunya and akhirah. Let's take advantage of the opportunities given to us by Ahl al-Bayt. Let's increase awareness of our deen. You can make your own mini library in the house. On your iPad, you can make your own small Islamic library. Buy books. Engage. The more you do so, the more you appreciate Islam. And number 2, your livelihood. And lastly, patience. And the highest form of patience, obviously, is when we lose our loved ones, isn't it? You may lose money. You may lose your job. You may be refused certain document you're looking for. These are all painful. One may be diagnosed of whatever sickness. May Allah protect all of us. But losing loved ones is the most difficult one. And hence losing Ahl al-Bayt is the most painful one. And that is why before this Masa'ib Mu'minin and Mu'minat, I heard an announcement earlier on, and I thought I would use that announcement for you to donate generously towards the Kabristan the community is trying to purchase or buy. That's the highest form of love we can give our marhumin. You know, we normally sleep on a nice pillow. That day the pillow will be sand and soil. We normally wash ourselves, isn't it? That day we are going to be washed with certain things. We normally drive ourselves, or we sit comfortable, someone drive us. That day, the sitting arrangement is completely different. Wallahi, the highest form of love you can give anyone you think you love and who's in Barzakh or going to Barzakh is to give him a nice cover. Wallahi. I've seen communities who do not have their cover, even here in the UK. And when they have marhum, it's mayhem. So I thought, let me take this opportunity to encourage you. Donate whatever you can afford towards having your own cemetery or your own graves, whereby mu'mineen and mu'minat will be buried peacefully when they return to their maker and to their origin. Let us now take our hearts to the holy city of Mashhad and remember a few lines of the Masa'ib of Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha. As his Masa'ib are one very painful Masa'ib. But what is interesting is that if you look at Ahlul Bayt, upon all the pains they had to endure, towards the end, they will all mention Hussein. You know, narration tells us Imam al-Ridha recited his own marthiyah in Medina before he left Medina. He gathered his family members. Then Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam, it's about 5 years, some said 4 years. And he recited his marthiyah. Tears began to overflow from their eyes. Then they asked Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam, when a person travels, he doesn't cry. Why gathering us and crying before your trip? Imam al-Ridha said, because this trip is a trip of no return. I am going and I'm not coming back anymore to Medina. And it is true. Imam al-Jawad alayhi salam, Bibi Fatima al-Ma'suma alayhi salam, of course she tried to go and meet Imam al-Ridha, but that did not happen, as she had to give up her life when she got close to Qum al-Muqaddasa. But now the one who narrated beautifully is Aba Salt, the gum of Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam. Because you know very well Imam al-Ridha had so many siblings, but none of them was next to Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam when he departed from this world. Yes, narration tells us Imam al-Jawad appeared miraculously to bury his beloved father, Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam. But Aba Salt tells us, mu'mineen and mu'minat, I was with my master Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, and my master said to me, Aba Salt, come with me. Ma'mun has invited me. He said, oh Aba Salt, wait for me outside. When you see me coming out without anything covering my head, then you shall know that I am okay. But when you see me coming out of Ma'mun's palace with something on my head, meaning head cover covering my head, you shall know that they've poisoned me. Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam went to see Ma'mun. Aba Salt kept waiting for Imam Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha. Suddenly he saw Imam al-Ridha coming out, but Imam al-Ridha used his abaa to cover his head. That was the moment Aba Salt realized that they poisoned his beloved master, Imam al-Ridha. Imam al-Ridha began to walk towards the house. Aba Salt was walking next to Imam al-Ridha. Imam al-Ridha said to Aba Salt, the poison is ripping my liver. He said, oh, Aba Salt, I'm going through a lot of pains. Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam got to the house. When he got to the house, they were all waiting for him to have food. Imam al-Ridha said to them, why haven't you eaten? They said, no, we've never eaten without you. Imam al-Ridha said, you sit and eat. They looked at Imam al-Ridha. The complexion of the face of Imam al-Ridha began to change. Allahu Akbar. Our beloved Imam began to vomit blood. Aba Salt narrate that Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam was on a mattress. Suddenly Imam said to them, let me go on the ground. He said, Kana Imam al-Ridha yatamalmalu tamalmul salim. He was on the ground. He was turning around like a snake. When the poison affected Imam, Imam would turn left and Imam would turn right. Imam would be on his tummy. Imam was turning like that. One narration tells us, Imam al-Ridha said to them, can you take my body under the heat of the sun? They asked him why. He said, I want to feel how my grandfather Hussein felt. Allahu Akbar. I said, Ya Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, when you depart from this world, Allahu Akbar, Jawadul A'imma appeared to bury you. But I said, Ya Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, they left the body of Abu Abdullah in Karbala. And the body was mutilated in Karbala. When Banu Asad came to bury her, they could not recognize the body of Abu Abdullah. It was Zainul Abidin who after 3 days appeared miraculously. I said, Ya Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha, when Zuljanan returned to Khaymaga, Sakina ran to Zuljanan and she held the leg of Zuljanan. She said, Zuljanan, where is my father? Ala la'natullah على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. يا حسين. يا حسين.
मज़लूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रज़ा है। 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 हर जिसको ज़हर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है। हर जिसको ज़हर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है। मज़लूम वतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। सब आंखें करो बंद, दुआई है दुआई, एक बीबी अज़ादारो यहाँ शाम से आई, लिपटी है जनाजे से नहीं सर पे रिदा है, लिपटी है जनाजे से नहीं सर पे रिदा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। आए हैं जनाजे में नबी शाहे उमम भी, कुलसूम रुकैया भी है मासूमाए कुंबी, वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है, वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। रोते हैं फरिश्ते भी ज़मीं और ज़मा भी, हाय लो कलम अर्श बरी कोनो मकाबी, खैरुन्निसा के लाल के मातम की सदा है, खैरुन्निसा के लाल के मातम की सदा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। हाय जिसको जहर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है, हाय जिसको जहर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, हैया अला खैरिल अमल, 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 हैया अला खैरिल अमल। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, हैया अला खैरिल अमल, हैया अला खैरिल अमल, हैया अला खैरिल अमल, हैया अला खैरिल अमल, हैया अला खैरिल अमल। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। हाय जिसको जहर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है। हाय जिसको जहर लो गो मुसलमान ने दिया है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। सब आंखें करो बंद दुआ है दुहाई। एक बीबी अज़ादारो यहाँ शाम से आई। लिपटी है जनाजे से नहीं सर पे रिदा है। लिपटी है जनाजे से नहीं सर पे रिदा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा 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 है। आए हैं जनाजे में नबी शाह उमम भी। कुलसूम रुकैया भी है मासूमाए कुंभी। वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है। वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा 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 है। मामून अब्बासी की रायत है ये लोगो। हाय आले पैगंबर से अदावत है ये लोगो। सैयदों से जरा देखो ये उम्मत की जफा है। सैयदा से जरा देखो ये उम्मत की वफा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा 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 है। रोते हैं फरिश्ते भी ज़मीं और ज़मा भी। हाय लो कलम अर्शे बरी कोनो मकाबी। खैरुन्निसा के लाल के मातम की सदा है। खैरुन्निसा के लाल के मातम की सदा है। मजलूम मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है, मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है। आए जनाजे पे नबी शाहे उमम भी, कुलसूम रुकैया भी है मासूमाए कुंभी, वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है, वो बीबी है करबल में जली जिसकी अबा है। मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है, मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला रजा है, मजलूम बेवतन ये मेरा मौला
रजा है। या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन या हुसैन, हुसैन या हुसैन, हुसैन जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, बिन्ते ज़हरा बिन्ते ज़हरा बिन्ते ज़हरा तेरे पर्दे का ख्याल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी सवाल बिन्ते ज़हरा बिन्ते ज़हरा बिन्ते ज़हरा तेरे पर्दे का ख्याल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान बिस्मिल्लाह सब मौत किस सोच में है लाश अकबर पे खड़ी, मौत किस सोच में है लाश अकबर पे खड़ी, क्या पैगंबर क्या पैगंबर क्या पैगंबर की जवानी का ख्याल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैर सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का बढ़ के अब्बास कलेजे से लगा लेते हैं, बढ़ के अब्बास कलेजे से लगाते हैं, जब सकीना जब सकीना जब सकीना की यतीमी का ख्याल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान बिस्मिल्लाह सवाल ये अलमदार का बेटा है, कि पानी जो मिले ये अलमदार का बेटा है, कि पानी जो मिले जाके बीमार की जंजीर पे डालाता है। जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी बिस्मिल्लाह का सवाल। दरमिया लाशों के तन्हा नजर आते हैं हुसैन, दरमिया लाशों के तन्हा नजर आते हैं हुसैन। जबके आशूर के सूरज को ज़वाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी गैरत इंसान का सवाल आता है, जब कभी सवाल आता है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब शाह। वो आबिदे बीमार था, वो आबिदे था, चलने से जो लाचार था, चलने से जो लाचार था। और शाम का बाजार था, और शाम का बाजार था। वो मुस्तफ़ा की बेटियां है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब है शाम है ज़ैनब शाह है ज़ैनब है ज़ैन है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ै सब मिलके है शाह है ज़ैनब। वो ज़ैनबो कुलसूम थी, वो ज़ैनबो कुल थी, चादर से जो महरूम थी, चादर ओ महरूम थी। वो ज़ैनबो कुलसूम थी, चादर से जो महरूम थी। ना महरमों के दरमिया, ना महरमों के दरमिया, वो मुर्तज़ा की बेटियां है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब है शाम है ज़ैनब है शाह है शाह है ज़ैनब है शाम है शाह है ज़ै। शब्बीर की वो लाडली, शब्बीर की सीने पे जो शाह के पली, सीने ओ शाह के पली। शब्बीर की वो लाडली, सीने पे जो शाह के पली। जिसकी अबा बन में जली, जिसकी अबा बन में जली। मुंह पर तमाचों के निशान है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब है शाह है शाम है ज़ैनब है शाह है ज़ैनब। सलवात बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद।
या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, सब मिल गए। या इमाम रज़ा, या रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा। हर नफस हर गरी मेरे दिल से यही आ रही है सदा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम। गैर मुमकिन को यूँ होते हुए देखा मुमकिन, जागती आँखों से जन्नत में गुजारी कई दिन। उसको क्या हो यकीन, उसको क्या हो यकीन, जिसने देखा नहीं कभी रोज़ा तेरा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम। रब्त कैसा ये मेरे जहन में आया है अभी, रब्त कैसा ये मेरे जहन में आया है अभी, जैसे गहवार ने फितर उसको शिफा बांटती थी, वैसे ही रोज़ व शब बांटता है शिफा तेरा। रब्त कैसा ये मेरे जहन में आया है अभी, रब्त कैसा ये मेरे जहन में आया है अभी, जैसे गहवार ने फितर उसको शिफा बांटती थी, वैसे ही रोज़ व शब बांटते हैं शिफा तेरे, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, सब मिलके या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा, या इमाम रज़ा। सूरत मुबारक अल-फातिहा।
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليكم يا شهداء كربلاء جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. زيارة إمام الرضا عليه السلام. السلام عليك أيها العلم الهادي، السلام عليك أيها الوصي الزكي، السلام عليك أيها الإمام البر التقي، السلام عليك أيها العلم المطهر من الذنوب، السلام عليك يا وعاء حكم الله، السلام عليك يا عيبة سر الله، السلام عليك أيها الحافظ لوحي الله، السلام عليك أيها المستوفي في طاعة الله، السلام عليك أيها المترجم لكتاب الله، السلام عليك أيها الداعي إلى توحيد الله، السلام عليك أيها المعبر لمراد الله، السلام عليك أيها المحلل لحلال الله والمحرم لحرام الله والداعي إلى دين الله والمعلن لأحكام الله والفاحص عن معرفة الله. السلام عليك يا أبا الحسن، أشهد يا مولاي أنك حجة الله وأمينه وصفوة الله وحبيبه وخيرة الله من خلقه وحجته على عباده. أشهد أنه من والاك فقد والى الله، ومن عاداك فقد عاد الله، ومن استمسك بك وبالأئمة من آبائك وولدك فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى. وأشهد أنكم كلمة التقوى وأعلام الهدى ونور لسائر الوراء. بأبي أنت وأمي أيها الصديق الشهيد، بأبي أنت وأمي يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وسيد الوصيين وإمام المسلمين وحجة الله على الخلق أجمعين. يا مولاي يا أبا الحسن، يا مولاي أيها الرضا، أتيتك زائرا وأشهد أنك خير مزور بعد آبائك وأفضل مقصود، وأشهد أن من زارك فقد وصل رسول الله وأبهج فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين ونال من الله الفوز العظيم، فلا جعله الله آخر العهد من زيارتك وإتيان مشهدك، ورزقني العودة ثم العودة إليك. آمين رب العالمين. السلام عليك يا حجة الله يا ابن الحسن، يا صاحب العصر والزمان، سيدي الأمان من فتنة الزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن، السلام عليك يا كعبة الإيمان، السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسحل الله مخرجك وظهورك وجعلنا من أعوانك وأنصارك. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.